Welcome, welcome back to Treasures from the Purans, a treasure chest of fascinating stories from the Puran genre of Indian literature. The story so far is that Ved Vyas is addressing King Janmejay's question about the creator of the universe. He says that sage Narad too had asked his father Brahma this question. In answer, Brahma tells Narad about the time the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, travelled in a celestial craft with Devi Ambika, following her instructions. The last episode, Ved Vyas answers Janmejay's questions, ended with the Devi asking Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva to board the celestial vehicle. The vehicle was exquisitely crafted with gems, jewels and pearls, and emitted a sweet sound of tinkling bells. As soon as they sat down, it rose up high in the sky. Now listen to this episode, The Fascinating Celestial Worlds. Brahma said, "When we took off, there was just an immense expanse of water all around. But we were very surprised when the craft landed on earth. The place resonated with birdsong and gushing rivers, deep wells, tanks, ponds, pools and springs fed the lush forests and gardens with fruit-laden trees all around. Soon we saw a walled city with imposing palatial buildings. How wonderful, we thought. This must be heaven. Then we saw a splendidly dressed Devata, or god, who must have been the king, going off for a hunting excursion in the forest. In an instant, our aircraft rose up again and transported us to an enchanting place. It was the Nandan garden, the garden of the gods, where the cow Surabhi, the plentiful giver, stood under the wish-fulfilling Parijat tree. Close to her stood an elephant with 4 tusks. Menaka and several other apsaras or celestial nymphs were frolicking around, and there were hundreds of yakshas, gandharvas and vidadhars singing and playing in the large gardens. Indra, the king of the gods, was there with his wife Shachi, as were Varun, the god of the oceans, Kuber, the god of wealth, Yama, the god of death, Surya, the sun god, Agni, the fire god, and several others. Then our vehicle rose up higher and we reached Brahmalok. There, apart from the hills, oceans and rivers, Shiva and Vishnu were bewildered to see Brahma seated in a great hall. They quickly stood up, turned to me and exclaimed, "O four-faced one, you are Brahma. So who is that?" I was equally startled. I don't know who he is. If he is Brahma, then who am I? I am equally confused. But before we could dwell any further on it, in the blink of an eye, we were on the beautiful Mount Kailash, inhabited by the celestial yakshas. Sweet lilting notes of lutes and the rhythm of small drums could be heard interspersed with birdsong. To our utter disbelief, we saw the three-eyed Shiva leaving his abode astride a bull. He had 10 arms and wore a tiger skin. His 2 beautifully adorned sons were walking beside him as his guards, and along with the other beings around, were chanting his praises. Before we could gather our wits, the craft rose up again, and we were in Vaikunthalok, the abode of Vishnu. In that beautiful place, we saw the 4-armed Vishnu, of the color of the blue atasi flower, adorned in yellow garments and ornaments, sitting astride Garun, his majestic eagle, with his consort Lakshmi beside him. Struck with wonder at this sight and baffled to visit these abodes, the 3 of us sat down and looked at each other. Then suddenly, as swift as an arrow, our aircraft reached Sudha Sagar, or the ocean of nectar. Waves were rising and falling in the great ocean, which was full of aquatic animals of all kinds. In the midst of the waves was a magnificent island, the Mani Dweep, or the island of gems. It was resplendent with a variety of flowering plants, trees, and creepers like mandar, parijat, ashok, bakul, ketaki, champak, and kurbak. The place resounded with the sweet sounds of birdsong and humming bees. From a distance we saw a raised carpeted platform bedecked with various flashing gems and inlaid with lustrous pearls. On it sat an exquisitely beautiful woman, draped in a red garment and adorned with numerous glittering ornaments like armlets, bracelets, and diadems. She was in full bloom of youth. Her high breasts defied lotus buds. A lovely red garland adorned her neck, and her skin had a smearing of red sandalwood paste. Her magnificent lotus face was mesmerizing to behold. Her red eyes had a divine sparkle, and her bow-shaped lips were ruby red. Her earrings were the shape of the Sri Yantra, the mystical 9 interlocking triangles representing the unmanifest and the manifest in the cosmos. She was surrounded by celestial women who were chanting hymns to her. Her whole form was as dazzling as 1,000 bolts of lightning. We had never seen anyone like her. We stared at her, wondering who she was. And as we gazed at her, it seemed as if the 4-armed lady became 1,000-eyed, 1,000-armed, and with 1,000 feet. We were even more astonished and wondered if she was an Apsara, a Gandharva, a Devi, or some other celestial being. Vishnu, who was observing her closely, now spoke up. She is the Devi Bhagwati Bhuvaneshwari, the supreme goddess. She is the power that creates all phenomena. Complete in herself, she is the cause of us all. She is the eternal Brahman, or the supreme self, and also the non-eternal, illusory Maya, who causes the illusion of sensory experience to seem real. She is the creator of the cosmos. It is she who has produced the Vedas. During Pralaya, or the dissolution of the world, she draws all the subtle bodies within herself. All this is her play. On either side of her are seen her vibhutis, adorned with divine ornaments and anointed with divine perfumes. O Brahma, O Shiva, we must have earned some merit by our penance and asceticism, that we have been blessed with a chance to behold this form of the auspicious Devi. Those who are ensnared in the world of objects never get such a chance. She is the visual aspect of the Supreme Self. It is she who creates this cosmos. She is the sole cause of all the things seen in the cosmos. She is the Maya assuming all forms. She is the Supreme Goddess. You, me, the Devatas, Lakshmi, and other goddesses cannot match up to even 100,000th of her. I remember now when I, as a baby, lay on a banyan leaf in the great ocean. It was she who rocked me gently. I lay there sucking my toe and listening to her soothing voice singing to me like a mother would. Now I recollect what I felt at her sight. She is Devi Bhagwati, the Divine Mother. We have nothing to fear. Come, let us go and pay obeisance to her. we will chant hymns in her praise. And if her guards don't allow us to go close to her, we will stand at the gate and continue to chant hymns." When Vishnu said this, said Brahma, Shiva and I became overcome with an intense joy. Our hearts swelled and our voices trembled as we all said Om and descended from our aircraft, hastening towards the Mother Goddess. As we got closer, we realized that even the birds there were repeatedly chanting the mystic incantation, Hreem. Our hair stood on end as we felt the waves of overflowing, unconditional compassion of the Supreme Mother. The all-merciful Devi Bhuvaneshwari looked at us with a profoundly benevolent smile. The next instant, all three of us stood transformed into women. Awestruck, we looked at each other's youthful, beautiful forms adorned with ornaments. What happens next? Find out in the next episode.